Am I the asshole for expecting my girlfriend to help me when I did something she disapproved of? I bought a second-hand motorcycle from a friend and began using it to get my motorcycle license. My girlfriend was very against it and showed me statistics of injury rates from motorcycles and how stupid it was that I was choosing to take the risk. I've always wanted to get one and I ignored her because she is constantly nagging about it being dangerous. We got into multiple fights over it and I was sick and tired of her complaining. Last month I got into an accident, no car only me, where I swerved into a metal fence and broke my collarbone and fractured my wrist. I got myself to emergency and they patched me up. I also got multiple cuts on my face and I needed stitches. I don't have the best insurance, so after insurance I have a $3,700 bill. I can't afford this, and even if I sell the motorcycle I still have over $1,000 in the bill. I'm trying to get the bill reduced now, but it will take a while. Beyond that I also can't cook or do basic things like put on the brace to my shoulder or lift things. I've asked my girlfriend to help me when she comes over to help me, and she's just coldly told me if she helps me I'll just get back on my motorcycle, which I've already told her I'm trying to sell, and I've called her cold and bitchy for refusing to help me with anything because she calls my injury self-inflicted. She seems like she wouldn't help me if I got sick because she isn't the least bit sympathetic I got hurt, but am I the asshole for expecting any help after she warned me it was dangerous? I had this book growing up, King Rollo and the Tree. King Rollo saw this huge tree outside his castle, and wanted to climb it. Everyone told him he'd fall, that he'd tear his coat and bump his head, but King Rollo climbed the tree anyway. And he fell, and bumped his head and tore his coat, just like everyone said he would. She calls my injury self-inflicted. Bro, you crashed your motorcycle into a stationary object. Who do you think inflicted your injuries? She seems like she wouldn't help me if I got sick. Has she expressly warned you that your actions are likely to cause you to become sick? I don't see how this is comparable at all. You are the asshole, King Rollo. Am I the asshole for a dry wedding and telling someone he has an alcohol problem? I, 25F, am getting married. My fiancé, 25M, and I decided on a dry wedding since we do not drink and see no point in spending money for alcohol. We were debating about getting a cash bar but then decided to no alcohol at all. There will be a wide range of other drinks, not just juice and soda, provided. We informed our guests via invitations with something along the lines of, "You don't have to be worried about choosing a driver or paying a taxi, since everybody will be able to drive." So a friend, 26M, called me and asked if I was joking about the dry wedding. I denied it. He asked 2 times more and I still denied joking. Then he asked what was wrong with me and how I was supposed to have fun without alcohol and how he should function that night. And that it was not all right to choose a dry wedding. This is where I might have been the awe. I told him that I was not obligated to provide alcohol to him just because he is not able to have fun without it. And that, if he needs alcohol so badly and cannot function without it for even one night with people he knew, that he might be having an alcohol problem and should consider a therapy to treat it. He flipped out on me and I took his invitation back until he apologizes because he used many slurs on me. Our friends are divided about me being the asshole. Some say I was right, others says I was not right. So Reddit. AITA. Someone said to edit this in, so I do. 1. Cash bar we debated about but decided against it, since we would have to pay a fee for them to open a cash bar and we don't want to pay for alcohol. 2. Events other than the wedding. We host dinners, parties, events regularly for our friends and never provided alcohol. So to all people that know us, it is known that we were never ones to provide alcohol. The ones who wanted would bring a beer or 2 for themselves to a garden party, but most of them just drank what we had available. Edit 2. I am seriously shocked about the "I hate weddings so I drink at them" comments. If you despise weddings, why come to hammer yourself instead of staying away? No one forced you to come if you hate weddings so much. Edit 3:1. I am still amazed how many people need alcohol for social gatherings and say they need it to function and have fun because it's boring without. I still firmly believe that this is not healthy. 2. Thank you for the info that less people will come to the wedding. But don't be afraid. 71 of 75 people are coming. A couple declined because their grandma has her 100th birthday that day. Happy birthday in advance. 3. I see that Reddit has also decided if I am an asshole or not. So I take that, but thank you for most respectful conversations and discussions. Not the asshole. I think it's really weird that so many people seem to think you're in the wrong here. Alcohol culture is so dangerous and so normalized. It's your wedding, your money, so it's your call anyway. And yes, if someone can't go an evening without a drink, they likely have a problem. It hurts to hear someone call you out when you're in active addiction, but that doesn't make you an asshole. Speaking from personal experience, I wish more people had expressed any level of concern or challenged me about my alcohol consumption when I was drinking every day. Am I the asshole for not helping my fiancé out with his nibblings during a family emergency? I grew up a foster kid and I don't have the best grasp of normal family dynamics, so I'm not sure if I'm the asshole or not. Background info: I, 27F, do not get along with my fiancé's family. His parents have been rude to me from day one because I don't fit their ideal of what a nice girl should be and my background is significantly different than theirs. His brothers and Sil are also a bit condescending about my work and lifestyle. After a particularly contentious holiday visit last year, I told my fiancé that I would be LC/NC with his immediate family thereafter. I don't mind him visiting them or keeping in touch at all, but I will not. They can always be his family but they won't be mine. If that was a deal-breaker, so be it. He agreed that was fine. We're child-free, plan to elope instead of have a ceremony, and as much as I move around for work, we'll likely be thousands of miles away from them for most of our lives together. His brother and Sil were in a car wreck last week and both ended up in ICU. They have 3 kids under 10 and as my fiancé's parents were at the hospital and he wanted to be there as well, he asked if I would watch his nibblings at their house for a few hours and possibly overnight depending on how things went. I told him no. I'll be happy to deliver food, drop off anything he needs, and run errands, but I won't stay at his brother's home or be in a position to interact directly with his family. Besides the disruption to my work schedule if it turned into an overnight deal since I have to get up very early, I doubt they want me there and it sounds like a fight waiting to happen once the emergency is over. We went back and forth over it, but he finally ended up staying with them himself overnight and the following day. I dropped off clothes and food that night and the next day, but he just took them without speaking. The brother and Sil will be fine, fortunately. When he got back home, he laid into me about not helping with his nibblings when the situation is so extreme. I told him I did help, just not the way he wanted exactly, and he already knew my boundaries. He said it would have taken the pressure off of him and also been a good olive branch. I told him his family already burned the olive tree and they don't get to look down on me and still be able to call me in a crisis. Doing the legwork I did was supporting him and I just really don't care about them anymore beyond him. We're not arguing anymore, but we still disagree. Not the asshole, and I don't understand the YTA responses at all. These kids don't even know you. They needed to be with someone to comfort them in this crisis. What you did was actually better for the kids and for you. You drew your line. These people have to have someone else they can call in emergencies, or they've burned all social capital being Oz to others just like they are to you. You were absolutely right to maintain your boundaries. Am I the asshole for asking questions about my coworker's daughter? My coworker has a daughter who has a bit of fame. She's not a celebrity or anything but she is public. To give an idea, she's verified on Twitter and has a Wikipedia page, albeit small and outdated by a couple years. I find her very interesting and entertaining and occasionally check on her socials to see what she's up to. I ask him about her sometimes as well and he sometimes tells little stories about her. He and his wife divorced when she was 18. On her social accounts, I've noticed she only has 3 posts in total about her dad on Instagram, one in 2020 for his birthday, one in 2019 which was a photo with him and her brother on Father's Day, and one in 2016 I think on his birthday too, which was an old photo when she was a child. For her mum, who still has the same marriage surname, she has a lot more photos and posts about her and is definitely a lot more affectionate for her too. Additionally, she also uses on her Twitter and Instagram her stage surname rather than her actual surname, aka his. I felt like I could trust asking him how things are between him and her, and his son too. He's asked me very personal questions about my divorce in the past and I've worked with him for quite a while and am on pretty good terms with him as a work partner and friend. We spoke for a bit until I asked why he doesn't appear in any photos on her accounts. Her sarcastically replied he was camera shy. I said fair enough. I then asked why she likes using the stage name on her Twitter and Instagram. It's also the surname I think of a family that is close to her, her family. And he replied that he doesn't really fucking know. He sounded like a mix of sarcastic, angry and disinterested. I asked a few more questions. He didn't really seem interested in answering. I could tell he was getting a bit annoyed, so I stopped. The next day, I arrive at work and he pretty much is ghosting and ignoring me. I don't think much of it until later the day when the boss comes and takes me aside and gives me a warning. Apparently I was asking him provocative and harassing questions, despite him not looking too bothered when I asked them. I go and try to talk to him and he just tells me to fuck off and leaves. This nonsense reminds me of the crap someone in primary school would do. I've tried to contact him and nothing, and I'm very annoyed at the moment and want to know, did I do anything wrong? You are the asshole. You first seemed to have an unhealthy obsession over his daughter and you didn't quickly grasp that they don't have a great relationship, but you kept pestering him about it. You are the asshole. Why are you so invested in his daughter's life and relationship with her dad that you're scrolling back 5+ years to count how many photos she's posted of him? That's creepy and weird, and your questions were invasive and nosy. You are the asshole. Learn to mind your business. Her profile might be public, but you've scrolled back to 2016 to find those photos. That's just creepy AF. If he wanted to talk to you about it, he would. You are the asshole. Perhaps they don't have a great relationship, but you also outed the fact that you're borderline obsessed with his daughter to him. I think that would make anybody uncomfortable. This is very weird behavior. Might be the creepiest post I've read on here.